As you can see, what we have is a series of cards placed from 10 yards to 55 yards at 5-yard intervals. All you have to do then is aim carefully at the spot on each target and squeeze off 5 shots. We need the best here, so if you mess up on any of the shots, take them again until a decent group emerges on each of the target cards. Don't aim high or low, no matter what range. Aim dead on for the spot, and don't shoot if the wind is howling. So what have we learned after all this then? Quite a lot actually. Most importantly, you've begun to form an association between your pellet flight path and the various ranges you'll shoot over. What you need to do now is repeat the experiment until an instant calculation forms in your mind. For instance, if the target is 45 yards away, you'll know to aim 2 inches high. Or if it's 25 yards away, you'll know to aim an inch low, and so on right the way through the ranges. You can pick up the entire flight path of your pellet and all the ranges you'll ever need to shoot over in one day, and it'll stay with you forever. The only way to get the most out of this entire system is to combine it with a good knowledge of range finding. That has to be the next element we cover. So it's back to the target cards again. This time, the targets are set out at random ranges with no distance markings visible. Just pick any target and estimate its range in your head. Then, place the sight where you predict it should be and give it your best shot. After a while, you should rearrange the target cards to prevent you from applying what you've learned from one target to another 5 yards further down range. To get the most from this exercise, it is essential to treat each shot as an individual test of your ability, so there's no point in cheating on yourself, is there? You can train yourself to predict range without a rifle in your hands, of course. There are dozens of opportunities for range prediction throughout any day. You can estimate the distance to a letterbox or a car or anything as you go about your day, no problem. What you must remember is that as the range increases, your pellet is falling at a steeper angle. So, for the long targets, range prediction is critical. Trajectory knowledge is a piece of cake. Most of you will pick up the entire system in a single shooting session. Even range estimation can be practiced anywhere and gradually refined. But there remains one crucial part of the shooting equation that allows no such luxuries, and that's the wind. No one has ever come up with a reliable prediction system to estimate windage. The greatest lesson about wind is also the simplest. Learn to accept that if wind is present, it will have an effect on your pellets. What you then do is deliberately practice in all sorts of wind conditions. Learn to recognize those wind conditions and apply their effect to your aim point. Nothing is guaranteed with the wind, but you can shorten the odds drastically by taking in what is going on around you. Branches, leaves, waving grass and other wind predictors are available, so use them and get to know the effect of wind on your pellets by shooting at paper targets and noting how far the shots are blown off course. With all the elements of shooting, luck plays a part. This doesn't mean that when you're not sure, you just close your eyes, rip at the trigger and hope that fortune smiles on the daft. Stick with what you've learned, apply the lessons carefully, and you'll get your fair share of luck. Just don't rely on it, that's all. Yet another option for the air rifle user is the process known as tuning. And as promised, I'll give you a brief explanation of it. A tuned air rifle is the equivalent of a rally-prepared car when compared to a family saloon. The internal components will have been honed, polished and correctly lubricated until everything performs in harmony under the minimum of stress. The result, when carried out by a qualified technician, is a rifle which shoots sweeter, easier, recoils less, returns better accuracy, and all in all operates under far less harsh conditions. It's a nicer thing to shoot. To invest in a tuned rifle is only really worthwhile when your shooting has reached a level when you're in danger of outperforming the basic gun. Under those conditions, it's a very worthwhile investment. Remember, tuning is not velocity. Ramming a dirty great mainspring inside here and a load of combustible lubricant is not tuning, that's bodging. Bodging will ruin the gun, correct tuning will enhance its performance and is worth investigating. Have your gun handled by experts, not bodgers. We've made this video in easily digestible chunks to allow you to concentrate on one element at a time. Some hints and tips fell outside the general categories, so we've given them a section of their own. Simplest first. Always read the instructions provided in the manual by the rifle manufacturer. Same goes for scopes. People who build and design shooting equipment are very keen for you to use their products safely and successfully. As this is exactly what you want as well, everybody benefits from a careful look at the instructions before you do anything with the hardware. Another simple tip. Get yourself a shooting jacket. This isn't just to keep me warm, you know. When you finally arrive at your ideal shooting position, a jacket will stabilise everything by supporting relaxed muscles and absorbing the tiny tremors transmitted by your pulse. Remember, a telescopic sight magnifies everything, including your wobbles, so anything which counteracts this effect is a must. The next tip is for the advanced student, although by now you should all be getting pretty good, and you may feel you need new challenges to your shooting talents. Don't go stale, go forward. Pluck up your courage and visit any airgun club or field target event advertised in the magazines. The British Field Target Association will point you in the right direction. So, go on, give it a go. The last tip has to be safety. Here's how to load a spring piston or gas ram air rifle without risking an injury. Don't do it any other way, not even once. Notice how the lever is held firmly throughout the loading process. This also obviously applies to the barrel on break barrel air weapons. Notice also the trigger was not touched until the rifle is on aim and ready to fire. Safety catches and internal interrupter mechanisms are designed to complement your safe handling. They are not there to replace it. Use your rifle as though it had no safety devices fitted to it at all. These things are to provide a last line of defence in case of a freak accident. If you eliminate all potential hazards, the safety devices will take care of anything unforeseen. There's still a lot to find out, you know. If I told you everything, you'd be better than me. And obviously I can't allow that. There's enough to be getting on with though, and half the fun of air guns is discovering things for yourself.
Shoulder it properly. Get your head nice down onto the stock. Line it up and squeeze off the trigger.
So there you have it. You should know enough now to become an expert who enjoys some really good sport in a safe and controlled way. We shot this entire video on location in Bisley, which as far as shooting goes is pretty well the Mecca. Airgun shooting is accepted here. We have our own clubhouse and they've made us very welcome. This is because modern air rifles have become accepted into the whole shooting foundation. To keep us there, all you have to do is practice your sport in a safe and sensible manner. While you're at it, you can teach the new boys that fun, safety and sensible gun handling don't get in each other's way. So enjoy your air rifle, become an expert, and don't forget, no excuses, okay?